Tucker Carlson, the fired Fox News propagandist, has resurfaced for the first time and made the first statement since his firing. We're going to look at it. It's only a couple of minutes long. The funniest part of it is Tucker dressed himself up like he still has a job. I don't know why I find that hilarious. He's probably wearing shorts, which is fine. But he, at least at the top half of his body, shirt and tie, suit jacket, and the entire thing. It's almost like he's doing a monologue at the top of his show, except there's no show because he's been fired. So let's listen to what he had to say. He doesn't really mention much about the firing itself. It's also funny knowing that he's doing this from the multi-million-dollar studio that he put in his house in order to be able to do Fox News shows from home. It's all just endlessly funny, but let's listen. Really a profile in courage. Tucker Carlson's first statement since the firing. Here we go.
Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things
he even starts as if he's still on Fox News. It's so good.
You realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population.
Right. The majority of the population is really, really funny.
Hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are.
Yes, but this is so funny. He's been fired for 3 days, and he wants to act like the biggest critic of the way that television is produced. His network and the programs he's been on for decades at this point, quite frankly, are the reason why we don't get substantive debates on for-profit television. We don't get substantive discussions. It's because you've got to cram in a 4-minute interview in between commercials and Lindsey Graham crying about something. Like it's not an incorrect diagnosis, but he's the one who caused the illness in the first place to a great degree.
They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing.
True.
In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all.
That's true, but that applies to his own program. Now, I guess now he's saying, with the benefit of hindsight, you know, I had no choice. They had me over a barrel or whatever the case may be. It's all, you've got to read between the lines, but it's a guy who is responsible for the status quo, pretending to take the moral high ground like he's a victim of it.
War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power.
By the way, demographic change means, you remember when he said, brown people come in and make us dirtier and poorer? That's what he's talking about and trying to whitewash here.
Natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been a long time. Debates like that are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state.
Huh.
That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them. This moment is too inherently ridiculous to continue, and so it won't. The people in charge know this. That's why they're hysterical and aggressive. They're afraid. They've given up persuasion. They're resorting to force.
Now, I want to make another point here, and then we'll listen to the last 30 seconds without another interruption. You, as an informed consumer of media, you know, people who listen to my show, it's obviously a self-selected group. It's not random people. I know many of you, because you wrote to me and you responded to my tweets about this video, many of you are confused about what the hell Tucker Carlson is talking about. Now, in short, he's basically, without directly saying it, he's saying that the deep state uniparty that controls Democrats and Republicans has silenced him because he wanted to talk about the big issues of our time and nobody would let him talk about it or whatever. But understand that if you who follow all of these different conspiracies and ideas, if you're confused by what the hell Tucker Carlson is talking about, imagine his audience. They don't have a clue what this is about. It's the exact type of thing Trump does, where he talks about things no one really understands because he's deliberately either deliberately obfuscating or confused, but it doesn't matter because it's a cult that follows him.
But it won't work. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful.
Whoa.
At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail.
Doesn't seem like it.
Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some, and that's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon.
There you go. So now, if you're saying, what is that a statement about the firing? It doesn't sound like it has anything to do with the firing. You have to read between the lines. And so when you read between the lines and he talks about the uniparty that's really in power, it's not Democrats or Republicans. When he talks about there are great forces that don't want us to have the serious conversations we need to have, a lot of what's in the media is stupid and all these different things. He's essentially saying, Fox News is part of the problem. It's not about left, right. There's like some kind of greater elite that is in charge and controlling everything. And they want to silence me and they want to silence you and all of these sort of things. So on the practical matters, what is Tucker Carlson's most likely next stop? I think the most profitable thing would be his own venture. And hilariously, because of the text messages that were released as a result of the Dominion voting systems lawsuit, we know that one of his former producers was actually engaged in texting with him. I believe it was a producer. About, hey, you know, what if we like start our own thing and we could make this much from the podcast and we could make this much from the website and so on and so forth. Particularly at this point in time, it seems to me that Tucker's most profitable move long term would be to start his own thing and control all of the revenue. The easier thing, and I can tell you this as someone who I'm running the entire thing here and so on and so forth. The easier thing, although maybe less profitable, would be just to get hired by someone. Like, would Newsmax hire Tucker? They probably would. Would it be as profitable as if he built up his own entity? No, but he wouldn't have to worry about any of that logistical stuff and he could just talk to the camera and get a paycheck. So I don't know where he will end up, but it does seem the most lucrative option would be to launch his own thing. He's got a lot of followers and people who would just send, people send billionaire Trump money because he says, I need money, and they don't think twice about it. They will obviously send Tucker money as well. So that's it. Tucker Carlson, respectfully getting dressed up as if he still has a show and delivering a 2-minute monologue about how I guess everybody else is bad and he's good and he'll tell you the truth. We will continue to follow the Tucker saga. We will take a quick break and be back right after this. One of our sponsors is BetterHelp. I am a huge believer in therapy. Let's say you've been thinking for a while about getting into therapy. You know it's the right move. You have things you'd like to talk to someone about. There is no better time than the present, but you don't have to drive across town every week and sit in a waiting room because of BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service. It's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists specializing in a wide range of issues. You answer a few questions about yourself, and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist based on your specific needs and preferences. The sessions can be on the phone, video call, chat, anytime, anywhere, from your couch at home, from your office at work. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime at no charge. My audience gets 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Pacman. The link is down below.